Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 here in the pristine, untouched wilderness of the Calmlands. This one's corn. This one's because this one up here was corn previously. So this one here is going to be corn, and this one here is going to be oats. I remember now. Look at that. My memory came back. Oats. I can actually plant the oats today. I didn't plant the... Yeah, so, I mean, I could go... I'm not planting oats today. We're getting the oilseed radish in the ground today, and then we can plant the oats tomorrow, and we're in April, and then that'll be all tickety-boo and wonderful. Corn can be planted tomorrow, or it can be planted in May. Now, there's a possibility. So... we don't necessarily have to get this done today, but that one over there does have to be done today because we're out of time otherwise. And I kind of like this idea because it means it'll split up things a little bit more. We've got a wider planting window. So we have to get this field planted with oilseed radish today. There is no other option. And unfortunately, we have someone who is off sick, which... is me. Yes, alright, it's me. We can't blame Sen for everything. It's not Sen's fault. Not this time. It was her fault last time. She was off sick last time. This time it's me. So she's having to struggle on and do this all by her lonesome for this month. And that means that once the hired help engages and we start doing a bit more, I can't do anything else until this field has been finished, which is a little bit of a jolly nuisance, but that's just the way it rolls. We can work around this. So, while I am driving around the outside of the field 3 times, I do want to get some more hedgerows done here. I'm curious. There's a few things that I would like to bring up. A few questions I would like to ask. I have had a number of people, a number of comments saying that this isn't a hardcore series. What am I messing at? Some of you say, you know, there's questions being asked about, you know, what exactly am I doing? Lack of progress, things like that. So, I realize that everybody has a different opinion on things, and that's kind of one of the great things about humanity, is that we've all got different opinions on things, and we all can share those opinions, and we are able to still get along. I know that this may come as a shock to some people, but apparently this is actually the case. You can have different opinions, and you can still get along. So this is what we're going to try and look at and examine a little bit while I'm driving around in a circle. First of all, I would like to know why some of you still feel that this shouldn't be called a hardcore series. I'm not doing things as a hardcore series. It's all going horribly wrong. I don't understand. Like, I'm genuinely confused as to why you think that. I know that some of you don't like the idea of these random events being brought in. Yeah, I'm taking that into consideration, and I've decided that I'm going to keep them anyway. That's because we have differing opinions, and there are plenty of people that like this idea of the random events. Some of you don't like some of the events that I've put in, and that's fair enough as well. I'm keeping the ones that I've got now. I kind of like them. I feel that they do add some challenge, but I don't feel that it's excessive. This one here does add challenge, I feel, and some of you have said that, well, you know, things like having a sick worker, so we've only got one person going. It's not difficult, it's just making things take longer. Well, yes, I would agree with that, actually. Yes, it does. It's not necessarily difficult, but if you apply that same logic to the rest of the game, what exactly is it that you think we should do to have this as a proper hardcore series and make things difficult? What would we need to do to make things actually difficult in this series? That's something I am curious about. So if you get in the comment section and let's hear your opinions. I really want to hear about this. What is it that you think would make things difficult, and what do you think is happening at the moment that is taking away from making it difficult, and instead is just making it take longer, because I'm curious where you draw the line at the differences between the two. I was told that the Boulder Canyon series was a true hardcore series because it was actually difficult, but if I apply the same logic, well, you're just making things take longer, then we've got that same logic applied there. I just had to cut down a load of trees. That took a while, and then, you know, we carried on with the next bit, and that logic also applies here. Like, everything with the hardcore series in a game like this, it's not going to be more difficult. It just means that you got to grind a bit more, and that's essentially what we're doing right now. We're having to do extra grinding in the game because that's just how it works. Like, I mean, the whole sick worker thing, it makes things just take a little bit longer because we can only have one worker operating, and little things like that. Some of you have questioned some of my decisions about, you know, selling certain machinery and buying other machinery in its place. I don't believe I made a mistake doing that. I think selling off that tractor that we had at the beginning was a good move, because I think if I hadn't done that, then yes, I probably would have been able to do certain jobs more easily, but I think many of the jobs would have taken longer because I'd have only been able to do one machine at a time to actually complete that work. But also, the other side of that same coin is I would have had to do a lot more harvest. I would have had to do harvest and sell and harvest and sell and harvest and sell, and I would have had to do that several times. And as we all know from past experience, if I go and do that 4 times in succession without any alternative gameplay, it's going to get ridiculously dull and boring to watch, and no one's going to want to see it. So there's that side of the coin as well. I have to balance between hardcore and actually something that anybody will ever want to watch. So there's those two as well. What else was there? There was other things that people were asking questions about and talking about. The other thing I was wondering was the whole Silver Run Forest, which brings me back to here. I did mention the Silver Run and possibly doing a series on Silver Run at some point, which I'm definitely not against. I kind of like that. I've had a look at the map. I like the look of that map. It does look good. And I know that lots and lots of other people are doing Silver Run Forest at the moment, but as many of you have said many times over, it's not the fact that I'm doing a map that other people haven't done. You don't need that. You want to see my take on popular maps. You want to see me and my unique way of playing tackle a different map. And yeah, I probably do have a unique way of tackling just about most of these things. And yeah, I understand that several of you do get really, really frustrated with watching some of my unique ways of approaching problems, which, again, that's just how it is. Do you want me to do Silver Run, for a start? Do you want to see me take on that map and try things out on there and see what it's got to offer? Would you like to see that as a hardcore series? So pretty much, I would say that we would go in with that one. We start with nothing. I mean, we don't have to start with nothing. We have done that a few times. So give me some suggestions. Do you want that to be a start from nothing? I think the hardcore would be best for that one, because like this one we haven't really done very much logging, and wasn't planning to either, not really. So, you know, if we had one with a lot more logging in it next time, and also, there's new techniques and stuff for the logging in the game. There's new things happening with the logging in the game in that one. So there's new kind of mechanics to try out and stuff like that. And some of them do actually look really interesting. I've been having a little look at what's on offer there, and some of it does look really, really interesting. So I'm kind of keen to have a little go with this map, regardless of which, you know, how I go about it, which series I use for it. So there's definitely that we could go and do, and we could get stuck right into that one. But how much do you want me to do on this one? If I was to go to there, I want to hear lots of people's opinions on this, because everyone is going to have a different opinion on how long this series on this map should keep going for. Some of you will no doubt be telling me that we should be leaving already because it's not a true hardcore series and you don't want me to continue. I know you will. I'm pretty sure I know who's going to be saying that. I'm not mentioning names for any of this. I don't want to start any arguments. I'm not saying any of this to start any arguments. I want to know people's opinions. And this is what I go for. This is what I asking for your opinion and hearing what you have to say. Don't make the mistake of thinking that I will never ever listen to anything that people say and just disregard it. But also don't make the mistake of assuming that because you have given an opinion, I should then follow that particular piece of advice. And it's easy to fall into that trap. Why should I bother giving my opinion? You're never going to listen to it anyway. I do. I read all of the comments. I know I don't often reply to a lot of the comments. I do try to, even if it's just to give a little heart response, just to say, yep, I like this, I acknowledge that you said this, I've read it and I've paid attention to it. I do pay attention to what people are saying. I do take your advice on board and take that into consideration when I make a decision. I may not necessarily go the way you want me to. If someone says that I should be doing one thing and I weigh that up with other responses I've had, both from the comment section on YouTube and elsewhere, I do get responses in other places as well. I get feedback from all kinds of different locations. So I have a lot of information to take into account, and I balance this up with my own vision for what I want, and then I pick what I think is the best course of action, balanced between all of these. So if you've made suggestions for a while and it appears that I'm just not listening to your suggestions, it's not necessarily, it's not that I'm not listening to you. It might just be that your suggestions aren't fitting in with the current general feeling I'm getting from most people watching, or most people commenting at least, because they are two different things, and I am aware of that. But also, it may not necessarily follow my own vision of what I want to try and achieve in any particular map. What I want to know now, so there is that, I want suggestions from you. What do you want me to achieve on this map before I leave? Is there anything in particular you want to see before I go? Now, unfortunately, because I'm lying in bed over there, sick with the flu, CLAAS is going to have to do all of this field on her lonesome, which means that we can't actually do any other jobs. You know, there are things that I would like to. We're going to have to wait for her to finish doing this one. What we can do then, though, is that field down there can be planted with oilseed radish. I mean, we'll see how she gets on with that one up there. We may end up just planting this one as well, because there's not that much left to do in this field. It's a bit, I suppose, but I don't reckon it would take all that long to finish this field off as well. Not compared to that one up there. Now, I mean, the reason that we only got half this one done is obviously because we went, time progressed further than we wanted it to. Did I buy the new lot of pigs? Or did I? Oh, no, I didn't, did I? I'd already run out of money. That was my bad. Yeah, I'd already run out of money. So I haven't got the next lot of pigs. In order to get the next lot of pigs, we need to get these eggs up to the sell point and sell. So we're going to be buying today's lot of pigs a little bit later than we would otherwise. We've got 4 pallets of soybeans here now. We've got 2 pallets of wheat. Well, it's actually 2.5 pallets of wheat that we got there. We're about to have the next lot of oat and sorghum transfer up to the mill. There we go, 9 o'clock. So they've both just transferred up to the mill. And although we can't do anything, we can still see that these things are going on. Flour is now at 5,500 in there. Plus, we will have 3 pallets of spawned, which means that we're getting a really nice lot of flour come out here. Yeah, we're not going to be selling it until December, so it's going to... What we'll need to do is we'll need to go up to the mill and do what we did previously, which is at the mill, we take the flour and move it over into the storage area that we built round the side. But, I mean, actually, this is in boxes. And we can put these one pallet onto another pallet. And I was told in the comment section, the idea of moving pallets by hand, picking them up and moving them by hand, the big boxes, like big bags, I can't pick those up and move them around by hand. And I actually really like this idea, so I'm thinking that this idea is one that I'm actually going to go with. These pallets, though, this is boxes on here. This is boxes of flour. I got boxes of flour on here. I can pick this up and I can move it, because what I'm doing is I'm picking up some boxes. Basically, I can put this in a wheelbarrow, I can put this on a trolley, and I'm handballing it from one to the other. Now, yes, that's a lot of work. It is definitely a lot of work to go and do that. But also, this isn't our own mill. This is, I mean, yes, technically we have gone and bought the mill, but I would say that what we've done is we've applied for a license to be able to bring, it's not necessarily a license, we've spent some money in order to be able to use the mill facilities. And the money covers the cost of the employee that works here at the mill. And he's the one that does that. That's why we have a monthly expense. It covers his wages. And he's doing various different tasks around the mill at all times. And what that means is that if we're moving pallets up here, it's not actually myself or Senleia that would be coming up here and doing it. If we're moving pallets, if we bring a tractor and trailer up and we move them around the side, it's not us that's doing that. We don't own that mill. That mill is owned by someone else, and we are paying out some money in order to be able to use it. That's how I'm viewing this. So even though we do only have one worker this month, because I'm doing stuff over at the mill over here, this is acceptable. Maybe some of you will dislike this particular brand of logic that I am bringing into the game right now, but that's fine. Tell me in the comment section. That's what the comment section is for. If you disagree with something I'm doing, tell me. That's what the comment section is for. I will never know if you keep silent. If you don't say anything, I will never know. I need you to tell me when there's an issue. If you have a problem with something, tell me. And as I have said many, many times before, if you have a criticism, if you have a problem with something I'm doing, tell me. I want to know. I cannot change anything unless I know what you are thinking. But also, this whole idea that this vibe I feel from some people sometimes when I'm watching other videos and listening to their commentary about various different situations. The idea that a criticism applied to a video or a situation or a product or something that someone has gone and made, doesn't matter what it is, a criticism applied is not a bad thing. How can anyone improve on what they've done, what they've made, if they don't allow any criticisms? Criticisms are good. They point out the bits that are going wrong, and they allow you to make some improvements. So yeah, if you have anything that you don't like, tell me. I want to hear about it. I do. I genuinely, I really, really do. Like, I don't like people having issues and then not telling me what it is. I do know that there are some people that will do that. I will get I get a comment every now and then. This is awful, delete your channel. Well, that's great. What is it you think I should do to improve the content so you wouldn't want me to delete the channel? I mean, yes, the majority of times I get a comment like that, it is someone who has yet to finish their school years, and they are starting up their own channel, and they simply view it as competition, which is not a healthy thing to go and do. It's not going to get you viewers, by the way. A little tip. Don't go and bash the other people who are doing the same thing that you're doing. That doesn't get you people viewing your channel. It just doesn't work like that. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pallets right here. And we also have the pig food that we've got stored in here. We've got 5,999 litres stored in here. We've got 583 litres of flour up here now. And that's all going to sit there where we've just gone and put it. Let's scoot across the road there before we get run over. And we will jump the gate. How are we doing? Sen, how are you doing down here? Let's go and take a look. There's a little tiny bit of field that's been missed over there, but that's kind of to be expected. And I haven't bought the pigs yet. I haven't bought today's pigs. I've got quite a few eggs over there that we'll be able to sell, and we'll be able to use those. But we can't go and sell those. We have to wait till this is finished, because Sen is the sole worker for the day. We had some pretty bad luck on our roll of the dice. I wanted another lottery win. I'll be honest, I wanted another lottery win. But, yeah. We haven't had an extra animals one yet. I'm still not entirely sure I'm going to deal with that. I think I'm just going to have to work out a rough price of what extra animals would be worth. Selling them as top value animals. And so basically just credit us with some money. That might be the best way to do that with the sick animals. Is just we'll add some money to the account to represent the additional animals that we got that particular season. I think that's maybe what I did in the last series. I used the random events. I'm not entirely sure. I think we'll just speed this a little bit up. There's not a lot left now. Real life. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to do that little tiny bit there that got missed. Don't think there's any bits up through here that have been missed. I mean, there might be, but there's such a small amount that it hasn't even shown up any weeds, so we can just leave them. And then I've got these little bits over here, and that job is done. So I've got two choices now. I can either go and carry right on with the next field, or we can go and do the other bits that I wanted to do, which was take the eggs that we've got and move those, well, take those over and sell them. It is March, which means that we're not going to get as much. I think March is actually one of the lower points. Let's have a look. Eggs. Yeah, 930. Yeah, whoa. 901. We have eggs at the very lowest point right now. They cannot get any cheaper, which is not great. That's really, really not great. Eggs are at their single lowest point for selling. However, we have got a load of eggs. We do need the money so that we can go and buy the piggies, because we have no piggies at the moment. But I also want to do this. I also want to get this little bit planted because, well, it needs to be planted. So we can put the hired help on there and we can go and do that bit. So Sen is going to go and do that. She's just going to go backwards and forwards, up and down the fields, over and wait, where are you going? Over and over. What's that song? Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows my worries. Apparently nobody knows. What are you doing? What was that? Was it just me, or was that really, really bizarre? Seriously, that was just really, really, really bizarre. And that was a weird... It wasn't just me, was it? That was a weird turnaround in the field just then. I kind of want to get... I want to get this little bit here done, because then we've got the planting done, that's out of the way. And it just makes things easier for the next stages. It's only this month that we've only got one worker, and it's not going to take very long to do this field. This field is actually pretty quick. It's much smaller than the other two. And we've done the big chunk up there that has now all been finished. So that didn't take all that long to go and complete. And that one's going to come down there. And then... yeah, that was really weird, that the whole turning around bit to start with then. Now, where are you going now? Reverse back this way. So why didn't you just do that the first time? Kind of reversed round a bit and then did another loop. At least you're not doing another loop now. Now what do you... that went... okay. You went at a funny angle just then? I'm confused. So, you know, the hired help really does confuse me sometimes in this game. It really does. Okay, we want to have a look at... We need to discuss ploughing. We need to discuss ploughing. Ploughing is something that does need to be done. I still have not yet used this bad boy right here. I want to use this one at some point. Now, the other thing about this one, I think this one does have a spreading width. Does it have a spreading width? It doesn't. Oh. Design, standard, launch edition. Oh, I see, right. Wheel setup, GPS, license plate. Right. So this one does actually have to have one of these on the back. It's got... Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.